Hello, hobos and oblettes. Today we'll be talking about Aphrodite, Greek goddess of beauty. I'll be breaking down her ability kit to its entirety, all the bits, tricks, and things that make her tick. Aphrodite is a part of the mage class in Smite, so she deals magical damage, and being a part of that class gives her passive power as she levels up, maxing out at 40 power at level 20. Aphrodite is typically played within the support role, even though she's a mage. With how healing works within the game, and how her first ability works with sharing protections, it is much more beneficial for her to build tanky and support her team.
Who will be my love today?
Aphrodite's passive is called Center of Attention. For each god, whether that be friend or foe that is close to Aphrodite, she gains bonus magical and physical protections. She gains physical and magical protections per god of 4 protections of each, making the max amount of stacks 9, giving protections gained for our passive to be a total of 36 of each protections, which is equal to about half an item worth of protections.
Soulmates.
Now onto Aphrodite's first ability, which is called Kiss. Aphrodite blows a kiss to an allied god, making them her soulmate and giving them both increased movement speed. If it hits an ally, the cooldown of this ability is reduced by 1 second. If the kiss hits an enemy god, they are damaged, stunned, and Aphrodite's soulmate gets jealous, increasing their damage. Aphrodite also passively gives her soulmate 50% of her MP5 and 10% of her physical and magical protections, while they are connected through kissing. The max damage of the kiss does 120 base damage plus 25% of your magical power. The max move speed gained is 10%, a stun duration of 1 second, a max damage increase from jealousy of 15% increased damage with a total of 5 seconds of jealousy. With the protections shared from this ability, you can make a squishy be extremely tanky if you build protections yourself, and reaching max protections of 350 protections for both physical and magical is pretty easy, and passively giving your squishies 35 of each protection on top of what you may already be giving them from Thebes, Prophetic, they will be very tanky. Keep in mind this ability itself with a stun and a damage buff, which is massive for whichever ally you're connected to at the time.
Back off!
Aphrodite's second ability is called Back Off, agitated by the crowd of attention, doing damage in a circle around her, slowing enemies and knocking them back away from her. If Aphrodite has a soulmate, an explosion originates on them in addition, dealing the same damage as well as slowing enemies, but not knocking them away or knocking them back. If an enemy would be hit by both blasts, they will only be affected by the one originating from Aphrodite herself. The max damage of this ability does 320 base damage plus 70% of your magical power, and a slow of 25%, with a slow duration of 2 seconds. This ability is a very nice way to self-peel, almost the opposite of a leap. Instead of removing yourself from the dangerous scenario, you're removing the enemy from a distance that can threaten you.
Come, my doves!
Aphrodite's third ability is called Lovebirds. Aphrodite sends doves to fly forward in front of her, circling anybody hit by the doves, dealing tick damage to them every half second for 3 seconds. Aphrodite and her soulmate receive healing and cooldown reduction per tick. The max damage per tick is 55 base damage plus 15% of your magical power. The max heal per tick is 19 plus 2 per level. Cooldown decrease per tick is 0.2 seconds per tick. If you want to get the most out of this ability, use it after all of your other abilities that are already on cooldown, as it does reduce all your cooldowns, even the cooldown for this ability itself, as it goes on cooldown as soon as you use it.
For love!
Aphrodite's fourth and final ability is her ultimate. It is called Undying Love. Aphrodite pledges undying love to herself and her soulmate. While this is active, her and her soulmate are invulnerable to all damage and gain the jealousy effect for a short duration. All crowd control effects are also removed when activated. Max invulnerability duration is 2 seconds, and her soulmate can still fling out damage and freely move during the duration of this ability. Even while they are immune to everything. They gain the jealousy perk as soon as the ability is pressed for 5 seconds, making whoever you're connected to very strong for that short time. Whoever it is. Making them untouchable for 2 seconds while they can still fling out damage, doing 15% more damage in that period. Is super strong. That was Aphrodite's entire kit, so now I will get into some useful tips to help you excel at Aphrodite, as well as how you should be playing her in general to maximize her usefulness.
Don't hate me because I'm beautiful. Just be mad that you're not.
Aphrodite plays like a magical support mage, so you want to build protections as well as ore items so you can get the most out of her Kiss passive ability, as having enough protections to make that 10% protection sharing really worth it. It is a good example build for this patch. To start, build Protector's Mask, Mystic Earrings, and Bountiful Bow. Then, in order, build Prophetic Cloak, Gauntlet of Thebes, Manicore Spikes, Stone of Binding, and Contagion. When you reach enough protections to upgrade your starter to Lono's Mask, without any cowardice stacks, do so. And typically after you build Stone of Binding, otherwise just upgrade it last. And support relics are highly situational, but common good ones to grab are Sundering Spear and Horrific Emblem.
Off to find my love.
Aphrodite's strongest point is mid to late game. As alone, she is nothing to be scared of, but paired with a soulmate, she can buff them to immense levels, making their combo a fearsome one to face. As it goes later into the game, more and more teamfights will happen with less people being alone, not wanting to be picked off away, all alone from their team, making her just stronger as she benefits from being around people.
By the grace of beauty.
Aphrodite will start with their carry in long lane, trying to support their carry by out-pressuring your lane opponent, using your third ability to out-clear the enemy laners to secure the most farm as possible at other parts of the map, staying with your carry until roughly level 5, or when you think that your carry can safely clear the wave on their own. After that point, you want to rotate around the map and provide help to whatever part of the map that you can, helping your teammates secure buffs or objectives, and that securing, maybe even those objectives turning into team fights, even.
This will totally make us win.
During a team fight, to get the most out of Aphrodite, you want to connect yourself to the specific teammate doing the most amount of damage on your team, and using your abilities to support them as best as you can, so they can continue to do damage without much risk of them dying, as you'll be peeling for them the entire time, saving your abilities for when that teammate gets engaged upon to try to keep them alive as long as you can.
One kiss from me will make you forget why we're even fighting.
Because of how power scales with magical autos, auto attacks aren't that high of damage as for magical characters. They only scale 20% of your magical power. To explain what an auto attack cancel is when auto attacking their specific phases to an auto attack. Aphrodite has a normal action phase where the projectile comes out from the character, and a long recovery phase to prepare for the next auto. An auto cancel would cancel out the preparation phase, allowing you to do more theoretical damage. Aphrodite doesn't have anything inside of her kit that would necessarily benefit from auto attack canceling specifically, as you aren't even building power, so your auto attacks won't do much, so auto attack canceling isn't worth it, especially not worth it when you know that there is a 50% slow to your movement speed from auto-attacking as it is a ranged auto-attack.
This will protect my face, right?
Playing Aphrodite, you want to level your main clear ability first, as you want to farm. That is your main priority, and your third ability will help you do that the best. Funny enough, that is also her heal. The ability starting off doing 90 base damage, then getting your level 1 at level 2, then level 3. I like to put 2 points into her third ability, Lovebirds, to help the carry clear as well as heal them if you've been fighting the enemy. And after putting 1 point into your ultimate at level 5, leveling your main clear / heal, Lovebirds, your third ability, then your Kiss, her first ability, then back off, her second ability, putting points into her ultimate whenever those points become available.
So hot right now.
So to look at what a full rotation of what your abilities can look like is this. Her only real combo lets her secure all of her abilities on a single target, and it is this. You, 1, to stun the enemy. You send your Lovebirds on them, starting to get closer to them, and then you 2. And that secures every ability, all of your abilities. And you only want to save your ultimate to negate either big damage or cleanse a scary CC for either you or your soulmate.
The world awaits my magnificence.
Aphrodite is one of the simplest supports to pick up, but still allowing a lot to learn. And if you choose to be the crowd favorite among the gods and learn Aphrodite, may your enemies crowd you and not your soulmate. I wish you luck drawing everyone out to the battlefield, so you may take your rightful place among the gods and become the best god you can be.